My dear, your style never moved me, but your soul ruined me in silence. I never loved your clothes. I loved the chaos underneath them. Your outfit screamed confusion, but your eyes whispered everything I feared. You never dressed to impress. You existed to destroy me. Your fashion was never perfect, yet I undressed your truth daily in my mind. Everyone mocked your looks. I envied the way you wore pain. You never matched, but your presence colored my darkness. I didn't fall for your clothes. I collapsed under your energy. You didn't wear trends. You wore trauma like velvet. They saw the outfit. I saw the ghost trying to heal. I never cared for your style. I cared for your scot. Even in the worst colors, you carried grief like gold. I hated your shoes, but they led me to love. You didn't dress up. You exposed yourself gently. You wore rage, silence, softness, all at once. Your outfit failed you, but your truth undressed me. You weren't polished. You were poetry stitched together, style fades, but your messy beauty still haunts me. Your coat was ugly, your touch was art. I love the way you wore regret better than silk. You never fit in, but you fit my brokenness. Your colors clashed, but your soul harmonized with mine. You wore denial better than any designer. Even mismatched, you made sense to my madness. You wore apathy like armor. I touched the wounds beneath. Your worst fashion choice was loving me. You weren't in style, you were in pain. You didn't wear labels, you wore loneliness. I saw your insecurity dressed as confidence. Everyone hated your jacket. I hated losing you in it. You looked lost. I still chased the version of you before that. Your outfits told lies. Your silence told the truth. You wore shame so beautifully, it hurt to watch. I didn't care how you looked. I cared who you became. You dress like you didn't care. But I knew better. Your wardrobe was chaos. So was our love. The world never applauded your taste. I mourned it. I never needed you to impress. I needed you to stay. You wore rejection every day until I finally believed you. Your clothes never made sense. Neither did your departure. You dressed like a warning. I touched anyway. Your fashion failed, but your presence never missed. The mess in your closet couldn't compete with the mess in my chest. You wore old clothes and new lies. They judged your fit. I judged your absence. I wish you dressed up like you used to love me. Your hoodie told more stories than your lips. You never followed fashion, but your pain was always trending. You didn't match colors, you matched broken people. No mirror ever showed what I saw in you. You wore comfort like a shield. I longed to be let in. You weren't fashionable. You were unforgettable. People mocked your style. I envied your mystery. You didn't need clothes. Your silence was loud enough. I didn't want your wardrobe. I wanted your warmth. Your mismatched outfits held more truth than our last kiss. Your fashion embarrassed me, but your love humbled me. I lied when I said I hated your shoes. I hated the path you walked away on. You wore goodbye before I noticed. Your fit didn't matter, but losing you unraveled me. I never cared how you looked. I cared how I looked next to you. Everyone saw bad taste. I saw divine tragedy. You were never stylish. You were spiritual. I begged you to change your clothes. I should have begged you to stay. Your weird fashion distracted me from your dying spirit. You wore eccentricity. I wore denial. I loved you out of fashion, into forever. You wore my favorite color, chaos. Your outfits were loud, but your absence is louder. You wore the past like a second skin. I didn't fall for the exterior. I tripped into your void. Everyone laughed at your fit. No one survived your love. I used to fix your collar. Now I can't fix my grief. You weren't fashion forward. You were soul backward. They judged you by appearance. I judged myself for letting you go. You never dressed right, but you undressed all my walls. You wore mistakes beautifully. I mocked your look. God, I miss your presence. You dressed like a disaster. You entered like fate. If this touched your soul, don't scroll, like, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. I didn't love what you wore. I loved who you became in my arms. You wore winter clothes in summer, like you were preparing for goodbye. Your fashion sense aged badly. My heartbreak never aged a day. No outfit could hide your aching spirit. You wore rebellion like perfume. Style isn't eternal, but the way you left me feels like it is. I hated your pants. I adored your presence. You weren't fashionable. You were unforgettable regret. You dressed like you wanted distance. I kept coming closer. I noticed your mismatched socks long after you disappeared. You wore detachment so effortlessly, I mistook it for peace. You dressed like chaos. I loved you like peace.